Chapter 1. I swatted a mosquito from my face and wished I hadn't bothered to come out on this hiking trip with Emma. I hate nature. I hate nature and nature hates me.
How can you hate nature, Jane? You're a deer,
Emma said cheerfully. Emma was my, and I mean this without jealousy, gorgeous cherry-haired best friend. Mythology had a history of making female shapeshifters look gorgeous and male shapeshifters look monstrous, but the former was true. She was tall, curvy, and had that aura men just wanted to be around. That was a shame for them, since her interests were decidedly sapphic. Today she was wearing a pair of shorts and a House Stark t-shirt with the bottom cut off to expose her midriff. Emma was wearing sandals and completely ignoring the fact that we were hiking through poor terrain with way too many bugs. She was also carrying a picnic basket like Little Red Riding Hood. I, by contrast, was wearing a green fishing hat and a purple tie-dyed shirt over cargo pants. I had a thick backpack on that probably weighed more than I did. Never go out hiking unless you are prepared for everything to go wrong. And a wooden staff in hand. The staff was mostly cosmetic since, weighing slightly over 100 pounds, I still could lift about 3 or 4 times that much. It was one of the benefits of being a shapeshifter of Clan Cervid, Weredeer for occult layman. Compared to Emma, I was plain Jane, rather than just the equally unfortunately named Jane Doe. My parents loved puns, you see. It's a Weredeer thing. Like the fact vampires have to count sesame seed buns and werewolves are vicious buttheads with a couple of exceptions. I was short, had freckles, only had curves when I used the right bra, and looked younger than my age. Things had gotten a little better since I'd turned 19, but I still felt like the ugly stepsister whenever Emma and I went out. I hated feeling that way too, since I knew it was wrong. Maybe I just needed some companionship to cheer me up. Yeah, that sort of thinking had never gotten me into trouble before. I killed the Earth Mother's son, I said, spraying some environmentally friendly bug spray around me in response. I honestly think Gaia has it out for me now. I was referring, of course, to last year's event, where I joined the ranks of those very few mortals who'd slain a god. This particular god, whom I call the Big Bad Wolf for lack of a better name, had been a mean piece of work who tried to make my family a human sacrifice. It had successfully corrupted and murdered Emma's sister, too. Since that time, I'd always felt vaguely uncomfortable in Bright Falls Woods that it had been the local lord of. The thing was, though, shapeshifters needed to go out into nature. The urge to change during the full moon could be resisted, but almost no one did it. Hell, the only way to successfully resist it was to take regular trips out into the woods and get down with your wild self. That usually wasn't a problem in Bright Falls, but lately it was getting far more difficult with the sudden influx of tourists. Supernaturals had been public for the better part of 11 years now, and humanity was starting to soften its abject terror thanks to a sterling propaganda campaign by the vampires. Yes, the most dangerous and evil of us all were doing the best job at marketing themselves. It had benefited the local economy, though, as Bright Falls was only a couple of hours' drive from the Las Vegas of the Midwest and the undead-controlled New Detroit. People who wanted to get up and close with the supernatural but didn't want to have their blood stolen or their wallets emptied had Bright Falls as an alternative.